Hey guys, Todd here. Today we're going to install the BedRug Jeep floor liners on this two-door JL. Now make sure you're subscribed to our channel to keep up to date with our latest content. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you have the factory carpet, you're going to want to remove that first because the rear seat carpet goes over top of the front seat carpet. You want to remove the rear seat carpet first, then remove your front seat carpet, then you can install the front BedRug portion and then the rear BedRug portion. So to do that, the first thing that we're going to do is remove the back seat. Okay, next what we're going to do is pull off our wheel well pieces of carpet. Both sides come off the exact same way. What we're going to do is start down at the bottom, pop it loose from the clip down here, and then it just comes out from behind our plastic. And this one's already popped out of that clip. All right, I've already gone ahead and made a relief cut right here. It's already kind of traced out for us. I just finished it off with a utility blade. That way it's freed from our seat belt post. And just go ahead and pull it free from the carpet underneath. And then we're going to slide it out the front. And do the same to the opposite side. Okay, so I'm on the passenger side. This is my front seat back. I've got this pushed all the way forward. Here's our carpet down below. Now I do want to point out from the factory there are actually a couple of relief cuts in the carpet on either side of our seat frame. So what that allows us to do is kind of pull up on that seat frame and gets the carpet loose from there. We can just kind of pull it free like so. Over on this side we do have a fastener. Just pop it loose from the fastener and then do the same over here where we pull it up and get it free. And then we're going to kind of pull it all the way free from our seat frame and then pop it free underneath here. All right, and then do the same on the opposite side. Okay, so now your storage compartment lid, that actually slides right out. We're just going to pull that to the side for right now. Then we're going to take our carpet and we're just going to lift it free from the edges and then pull everything straight back. The whole piece comes right out. And then we can just reinstall our lid. We're not going to remove any of this carpet right here. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull out the carpet from the front. I've already got the seats moved all the way back to get the most amount of maneuverability underneath the seat. To pull this carpet out, we've got a series of fasteners. So on the driver's side, we've got a fastener here and underneath the seat, and then two underneath your pedals. On the passenger side, you got the one here under seat, and then just one at the floorboard. So go ahead and pop it loose from the fasteners, and then pull everything loose from your plastics. Then just pull the carpet out of the Jeep. Okay, so here are our two floor liners. We've got the driver's side that's got the foot pad. Passenger side does not have the foot pad. We've also got two pieces of heat shielding, a small one and a large one. The large one goes to the passenger side. The small one goes to the driver's side. Let me show you how to install those. What we're going to do is flip our liner over. Okay, now we're going to notice we've got a piece of Velcro that's stitched in to the side of the liner. What we're going to do is use that as a guide, line up our heat shield to that. I like to see where it's going to end over here, and that's going to be where I'm going to start the heat shield. So I'm going to peel this back, peel the adhesive protector off of it. we're just going to bring that over. And then just run the adhesive down to the liner. And once that is done, we're going to take one of our pieces of Velcro and set it onto the part that's stitched into the liner. We are not going to peel that off at this time. Repeat the same on the passenger side. All right, so we're back up in the front seat. I've got the front seats pulled all the way back. Down here, I do want to point out, this right here is a drain plug. So if your front floorboard of your Jeep gets flooded, you can pop that out and let water out. Your factory carpet will have little cutouts for the factory drain plug. If you want to have that on your BedRug liner, you can absolutely line up your BedRug liner to the factory carpet, trace and then cut out. It's best to cut the BedRug from the back instead of from the top where the fiber is, but that will give you access to that drain plug. That is an option. You also want to go ahead and undo your fasteners that are up at the top. Just unscrew them. If they're too tight and you can't get them by hand, you can loosen them up with a 16mm socket or wrench. All right, now let's go ahead and slide our BedRug liner in place. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and feed it in from the top. Get it underneath all your pedals. Now the BedRug material is contoured to where it needs to be, so just get everything lined up underneath the seat and get everything lined up to the contours. Also, underneath the seat, it's going to be very difficult for you guys to see, but there is a vent. There's a floor vent. Make sure the BedRug material is wrapped around that. It does have relief cuts to it, so it can wrap easily around that floor vent. All right, once it is nice and in place, what I like to do is make sure that it's fit snugly up against the side. And then I'm going to feel for where my fasteners are. I'm going to take and push straight down. And then we're going to let the studs for our fasteners come up through the BedRug. All right, once the holes are made, we can take and put our fasteners back on top of the studs and screw those down. All right, next what we want to do is go ahead and peel this side down. We'll see where our Velcro strip is. That Velcro strip is going to fasten right to this point here. So we're going to wipe this surface down with some rubbing alcohol. Then we can peel that away and stick it to it, and then tuck this up underneath the plastics. tuck everything in next to the door sill as well. Repeat the same process on the opposite side. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and install our wheel well pieces. Nothing actually secures this to the sidewall like Velcro. We do, however, have this little fastener down here that I'm going to go ahead and pull that off, because that will kind of secure it. Everything else is just kind of held in by your plastics on the truck. So I'm going to set that off to the side. Again, if that's too tight, a 16mm socket or wrench will loosen that up for you. Next, what we're going to do, pull the seat belt back and then set it in place. We're going to go ahead and tuck it up underneath on the top and get it lined up in the front, and then push it back. Next, we're going to go ahead and work it behind the plastics up in the front. Where you've got the relief cut, that's where the seat belt is going to go, the seat belt post. All right, now we're going to go ahead and tuck in the top to the plastics and the bottom, and then tuck this portion underneath the carpeted piece on the side. Now we're going to go ahead and go back to where the fastener was up front. All right, now with the bed rug pulled nice and securely up to the side of the Jeep, feel where the fastener location is, where the stud is, and go ahead and push that through. And go ahead and put the fastener in place by hand. All right, repeat the opposite sidewall the exact same way, and then we can go ahead and move to the floor portion. Okay, now in your kit, you're going to get some links of Velcro. I've already got everything cut into place. You're going to want to start with the longest pieces first and work your way to the shorter pieces. Once you've got those cut in place, you're going to go ahead and stick them to the Velcro on the bottom side of your bed rug pieces. Do not release the white tape protector yet. All right, now let's go ahead and put it into the back of the Jeep. All right, so I've just got it folded in half. I'm going to set it in place. I'm going to kind of push it in a good ways. These cutouts are right where the bench sits for the front. Now I'm going to go ahead and tuck it in the front to get it stationed and anchored in place, and then I can set it at the back. Okay, now that we've got everything anchored underneath the front seats, what we're going to go ahead and do is lift this up, and the two pieces of Velcro that are right here, we're going to go ahead and release the adhesive protector off of that. Now, I've already gone ahead and wiped down the surface down here where they're going to bond to with some rubbing alcohol to prep that surface. So we're going to very gently bring it back, make sure everything is lining up. And then we can go ahead and bear down and set that adhesive. Now the adhesive back here, we also need to use some adhesive prep. I'm going to show you how to use that. Okay, now this is a J-strip that's in our kit. What I'm going to do is lift up the edge of my trunk lid, and I'm going to just slide that over top. All right, now, before I just stick this to the J-strip plastic and then to this plastic back here, I want to let you know I've already gone ahead and wiped these areas down with rubbing alcohol, but I also have to hit them with adhesive promoter because this is a plastic surface, not a painted surface. So the way the adhesive promoter works, you just tear it open. And then it's got this little applicator sponge. Go ahead and get that pulled out. What we're going to do is adhere that to these areas of plastic. This is where our tape adhesive is going to be adhering. And we're going to let that flash and dry, and then we can adhere our tape. All right, now what we're going to go ahead and do is peel away a little bit of the adhesive. Make sure the tailgate piece is lined up. Go ahead and start bearing down. And work it all the way from one side to the other. We'll bear down to get really good adhesion there. We also want to make sure that we can get access to our strap. Go ahead and push that through. We're going to go ahead and peel away the adhesive protector here. Get it nice and straight, and then bear down. All right, go ahead and do the same on this side. All right, now if you want to have access to your tie-down cleats, now that is set in place, we're going to pull our tie-down cleats straight up. There's actually already cutouts inside our bed rug for the tie-downs. Do that on both sides, and we can go ahead and reinstall our seat. Okay, now for our tailgate piece, I've already gone ahead and lined up, wiped down the surface where it's going to be adhering with some rubbing alcohol, and I've already applied adhesive promoter. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to peel back each corner a little bit so we can get lined up on there, and then peel away our tape protector. Well, that concludes the installation. If you found this video helpful, make sure and give us a thumbs up. If you want to know more about the product, check the link in the description below. And as always, if you have any questions, call the experts or visit us online.